JFK assassination witness breaks 60 years of silence. Paul Landis was feet away from JFK when the president was shot. He found a very important bullet in Kennedy's limo, but he didn't tell anyone about it. He accepted the idea that there was only one shooter. But in 2023, Landis came forward to say,
"At this point, I'm beginning to doubt myself."
Landis developed PTSD after the assassination. He didn't read a thing about it until almost 50 years later. When he finally did, he realized the reports weren't accurate. The famous magic bullet might not have been so magical. Here's the account of 88-year-old Paul Landis, who witnessed the events of November 22, 1963. Landis was one of two agents guarding Jackie Kennedy. He walked behind the Kennedys' limousine. He still remembers the sound of the first gunshot. He hoped it was a firecracker or a blown tire. Then came another shot, and another. Landis was so close he crouched down to avoid being covered in JFK's brain tissue. Amidst the chaos, he found an almost intact bullet. It was in the back seat, right behind where JFK had been sitting. Landis took the bullet to Parkland Memorial Hospital. He placed it on the president's stretcher. He didn't tell anyone. He assumed the investigators would deal with it. But the bullet ended up on Governor Connally's stretcher. The Warren Commission would go on to conclude the bullet went through JFK's throat, hit Connally's shoulder, and caused wounds to his back, chest, wrist, and thigh. It became known as the magic bullet theory. It confirmed that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. But according to Landis, the bullet must have been shaken from one stretcher to another.
There was nobody there to secure the scene.
If true, the bullet couldn't have caused Connally's injuries. Landis theorized that it hit Kennedy in the back. It was undercharged for some reason, so the bullet popped back out. Historian James Robinault says it's very important.
If the bullet we know as the magic or pristine bullet stopped in President Kennedy's back, it means that the central thesis of the Warren report, the single bullet theory, is wrong.
Both Kennedy and Connally reacted to being shot. There was a 1-second gap between them. Investigators believed Oswald needed 2.3 seconds to reload and shoot again. But what if the magic bullet didn't go through both men? In that case, Connally must have been hit by another shot. There's no way Oswald could have fired two separate shots fast enough. Landis was 28 at the time of the assassination. The events deeply traumatized him. He quit the Secret Service shortly after. The Warren Commission didn't bother to interview him. Landis remained unaware of their findings until 2014. The retired agent insists he's not a conspiracy theorist. All he wants is to share what he saw and what he did.
"There's no goal at this point,"
he said.
"I just think it had been long enough that I needed to tell my story."